All righty. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. We're excited to meet with you today. For those that are with us live, and then those who will watch it in the future through the recording, welcome to our first of two sessions this month, chapter engagement sessions. So thanks for coming. Today we are going to be talking about it started out with one thing, and we kind of added a few things that came on. So you're actually joining at a really good time, and it's going to be a pretty full meeting, and if you have any questions, you can use the chat, and we'll have some time at the end. So here we go. I hit the right button there. Okay, there we go. All right, we're ready to go. So chapter engagement session, and we're going to be talking about focusing on Phi Theta Kappa Reach Rewards, the newly updated version of the Reach Rewards, which I think it's going to make everybody happy. It makes me happy. I've been happy since the staff came up with this new concept that's going to make it attainable for everybody and a whole lot easier, and really puts the focus on the local membership recruitment that goes on at all of our chapters across the country. So let's get started. If you don't know who I am, I'm Patty Van Adam, Division I Senior Director of Engagement. I am assisted today by my two fellow fabulous colleagues from Division II, our Senior Director, Tammy Fuentes, and from Division IV, Dr. Jamie Malberg. Dr. Sam, who is Division III, she's at headquarters this week, working with advisors who are being certified with the leadership certification. Keep your thoughts and everybody and good vibes for all of our friends in that area. They're getting slammed by a terrible hurricane, and so we're just hopeful that all goes well there for everyone in that neck of the woods. So our agenda real quick, we're going to look at ptk.org. Have you been there? Have you noticed that there's a fresh look? Are you going, where's our stuff? I can't find it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're also going to talk about the Connect dashboard, right? I know we used to call it dashboards, but there's a reason why we're going to try and use that word Connect, because it separates the two, the website and the dashboard. We're going to talk about membership recruitment and also some new details and the simplification of our membership acceptance program so that everybody understands what we're doing now and some exciting new things that are happening with that. We're going to take a look again at the at what we believe is key to becoming a Reach Rewards chapter, that local membership recruitment process. And we have lots coming up in the later part of the month, and we'll go over some of those things. But let's take a look at our fresh new look, the website. I think it's pretty gorgeous, right? One of the things that you need to know, and you can share with your fellow members and also with your advisors and whomever, it's forward facing, right? It's more a marketing tool now. It's forward facing to those who may consider becoming a member of Phi Theta Kappa, right? So on here on the website, there's a lot of useful information of the benefits and what students can do and all of that, but all of our work has been moved. Everything has been moved off of the website and is held on the Connect dashboards, and we'll take a deeper look at that in a second. But as you can see from here, there's several different tabs. So future members, there's a future members tab, and it's everything that they might want to know. How should they happen to get a whether they get an invitation or they find out a little bit and want to know more about us. Our members tab, right, has everything that's important to all of you as a member. Of course, our alumni, our advisors, and our donors. You still log in the same way at the login, and that gets you access to your dashboard. So the only thing you can really do with this part of it is just get some additional information. Share this with those that you know that are interested in Phi Theta Kappa. But to do the work, do your work, to your chapter work, your advisor work, you got to log in, because everything is behind that your credentials. The Connect dashboard, right? You know, when you log in, you know that dashboard, it has your picture, your account, you can access different things. There's also they're set up separately, right? So members have a different look. They look the same, but they have different functionality. So the members are able to access all of our programs, such as 5-star chapter plan, honors in action, college project, Hallmark Awards, and scholarships, just like the advisors do, right? So what you are used to going to the website to find, like the honors program resources, if you're looking for the guide or you're looking for the grant, you need to log in and go to that dashboard and you will see it there. For members, it's going to be listed on the right-hand side for the time being. For advisors, we're going to talk about this shortly. We're going to be rolling out an update. I don't know if it'll be this Friday or next Friday, where there'll be a tab up top that shows engagement, and it's a drop down, and you'll see exactly what you see on the screen there. And that's how you'll access all of those information. For advisors, there's more functionality as well, as far as forms and reports and things like that. And for resources for advisors, we're moving those over to Moodle for you. And don't worry, you don't have to keep notes on this. We'll send out an email that highlights all of this information. But the biggest thing that I really wanted, why I thought it was good to take a moment to talk about this, is that there is a succinct difference between PTA.org now and your Connect dashboards, right? So remember the website is just forward front facing to those who may be interested in accepting membership or learning more about us. And all of our programs and all of our work and everything that used to go to the website for is now on the dashboards. So the dashboard is connected to Connect at pta.org. So that's why we're calling it the Connect dashboard, and the website is the website. So if you have any questions about that, you can always contact your division, your senior director or your engagement consultant, and they can help you with that as well. I'm going to turn it over to Tammy for our next session.
So one of the reasons you guys are here is to learn more about REACH and local membership recruitment. So if you are familiar with some of the documents that were on the past dashboard, one of them was a recruitment checklist. Well, we have replaced that with what we're calling a membership recruitment timeline, and that's what is on your screen here. So we're going to go through all of these different steps here in a moment. So, but as you can see, the one thing I like to point out is engagement is right there in the center. So it's so tied to membership. So we want to make sure that we point that out. Also, those middle three are your steps to get to be a REACH Rewards chapter. So we'll talk more in detail about that as well. And as Patty mentioned, we've got lots of materials that will help support each of these 5 steps that we'll be sharing with you in Advisor Edge. So I'm going to turn it over to Jamie for a minute, and then we'll be back to talk about Upload in a second.
Yes, thank you, Tammy. Thanks, Patty. So what does it look like when a student gets invited to join? This is another process we've been trying to simplify and streamline so that everyone ultimately, for the most part, will end up at the same place, which is your chapter's unique and redesigned, I will have you know, landing page, which I'll explain a little bit more about here in a minute. But what does this new process look like for many of you seasoned advisors? It's not gonna change the way that you operate or do anything. It's just gonna kind of look a little bit different from the membership acceptance, the student side of it. So this is a very simplified work with your engagement consultants. That'll be something that you can work with them. But again, it's very similar if you do or you do not allow invitations from headquarters. So if you do allow email invitations from headquarters, the advisor will, as they always have, upload their list of eligible members to their dashboard. You will send your chapter's invite communication that Tammy's going to talk a little bit more about later to communicate with your potential members. But then when a student clicks on that Join Now button from their email invitation that headquarters sends out, they will be directed to their chapter's landing page. So that's kind of the streamlined process for those of you who allow email invitations from headquarters. If you do not allow email invitations from headquarters, again, similar process you've been using, but what you're going to want to start sharing is your chapter's unique landing page link. And these landing pages are ultimately replacing that direct join link. So you'll just be swapping one link for another. And that way, whatever communication that you send out to your eligible members, when you share that landing page link, they will click on it and they will end up at that landing page for your chapter. And again, we are really, really excited about these landing page updates. Every new member essentially will end up at your chapter's unique page. And it gives very specific information about your chapter. So it gives them the some of your chapter's successes, your chartering date, some of the awards that your chapter has reached out to. It provides them with a couple of places. You see those two little circled orange join now buttons. It's probably a little small here, but it gives them an opportunity to click through to complete their membership acceptance. So it takes them to that payment page where it gives them your information as an advisor, but it also gives them a direct link to their divisional engagement consultant where they can reach out directly to someone at headquarters. We know that there are periods of time throughout the year that advisors are just not super available. I remember when I was not teaching in the summer, I had my out of office reply on and you could not get a hold of me for anything. And so if a student is really desperate for an answer about PTK in July, when an advisor is not available, they can reach their divisional consultant and get some questions answered. So it gets them a link to a person at headquarters that can maybe not have all the answers. They may just direct them back to their advisor, but they'll be able to get a hold of somebody at headquarters. So again, these pages are nicely branded. If your college has shared their logo with us, we can have that on the landing page. So it's just a really nice, what are they going to get locally when they join? And it has a lot of really great information relevant to their chapter.
Okay, the chapter landing pages look sweet, don't they? It's amazing that every chapter has one now. They are really awesome. And this is really great. So, and it does streamline it. So thanks, Jamie, for sharing that. What's up next? Tammy with upload.
Upload, which could also identify an upload, is really what this slide is about. So it's kind of that first step on your timeline, which used to be the checklist. And so you want to know what your chapter's requirements are as far as credit hours, GPA, so forth. Every school is a little bit different. So you may contact your IT department or your registrar to get your listing of your students. And then from that, you want to make sure that you're including all students, dual enrolled students, your career tech students, and so forth. When you are pulling your list, when you access some of our materials, you'll see different items that are required, such as name, email, so forth. But there are optional things that you can have added to your list from your college that may assist us as well. One of those is yes or no if a student is dual enrolled. So that could help us possibly do some additional recruitment tactics to help those students that are out there in the high school. So we encourage you to, as much of that information as you can provide, we encourage you to do that as well. Once you have your list, if you allow our invitations, go ahead and get that uploaded into your Connect dashboard. So there are instructions that will help you through that process. Your divisional team can also assist you as well. So make sure you reach out to us if you have questions. And from there, we will go into inviting, and I'll turn it back over to Patty.
Okay, awesome. All right. So what we want to take a look at here is the part of the connection between what you do in the recruitment process and how it relates to the new Reach Rewards, right? We take those center three, the upload the advisors do, and there's some things that advisors can do ahead of time, like send a pre-congratulatory email so that students know from their college that they're going to receive an email to join Phi Theta Kappa. But after that, the next three steps are crucial to the part of why we focus on those for the Reach Rewards program. So that invite, uploading your list and allowing headquarters, to send invitations is always the best way. But if not, if you're doing them, that's good as well. engage, that whole part of engaging. But when we talk about engage here, we're referring to your eligible members, right? Those that haven't quite joined yet, but can, we want you to begin to engage with them. And then also do a follow-up, right? It's the fourth quarter. We're at the 10-yard line. 2 minutes left in the semester. Their invitation's going to expire. What can we do as a chapter to reach out to those that haven't accepted yet? So let's take a look. And this is all part of what's built into the new Reach Reward. So drum roll, please. Blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, every chapter in Phi Theta Kappa could be a Reach Rewards chapter just by doing the first part, right? Every chapter can be recognized by doing one activity for the following local membership recruitment strategies. So again, that invite, engage, and follow up. So let's take a look. Part 2 of it, drum roll please, blah, 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 blah. Instead of membership acceptance being the goal of how many souls you'll receive, we're going to put it right there in front of you. It's all based on growth and not membership acceptance rates. So in addition to completing those required items that we're going to talk about in a minute, chapters will earn souls based on membership growth, comparing what you've done in 2024 to 2023. So for instance, if a chapter completes all the activities and their membership growth is below 5%, they will receive 3 souls, right? No math involved, no looking at iPads data, no looking at college enrollment, none of that. Plain simple. Black and white, no gray area here, right? Not have to do the math. If a chapter does all those activities that we're talking about and their membership growth is at 5%, they'll get 6 souls. And you can see as it moves up as we go along. I love the last one. I mean, you know, I know we strive to have a 10% growth rate, and that would be really great, but that's how a chapter can end up with 16 souls, and of course they'll go on. But I want you to know that the first part of this, if as long as you complete those 3 steps that we'll talk about in a minute, one activity from each of those 3 indicators, and even if the chapter doesn't grow beyond 5%, the chapter will still earn 3 souls. So that's always good to know when it's on growth. Can I get a hallelujah? Yeah, I am. Yay, I know Bart was excited about it. Okay, so let's talk about invite. We give you some suggestions here, but of course, if something else works better for you, or if there's something that your chapter has done, you can do that. So let's focusing on invite. And we ask that you send invitation letters either through mail or email to your eligible students within that first month of the semester or the quarter. So we are in September. We still have some time. It's early. It's the 11th. You have time to get a letter out to cover that first part. And some of the best practices are when you send an invitation or send an email that includes the college president's signature, or invitations that include the college's logo, right? Which helps make that connection with, okay, this is my college's logo. This is legit. This isn't scam. Maybe sending mail, snail mail to both the permanent and local addresses, and send emails to, if a student has a college email and a personal email, of course, only if allowed. And this would all be directed through the advisor. You would do this once January through June, and then again July through December. But just know for 2024, we're doing it for one time in this year, and it counts for this year, right? So everybody can earn Reach Reward status for this calendar year and be recognized as a Reach chapter at Catalyst 2025. So you just have to pick one of those things. And I know you're thinking, well, Patty, how do you know that we're doing one of those things? We're going to talk about that in a minute. So hang tight and we'll do that part. Engage. The best part of showing the students why they should join Phi Theta Kappa is to engage them in an activity so that they can either meet the advisors, meet your chapter leadership team, get to see a little bit of what's going on. Some best practices, Awareness Week's coming up. Invite them to one of the events that your chapter is hosting during Awareness Week, if you're doing it that week, or host an eligible student information session, right? Showing them, talking to them about the benefits of membership and why, have your current members of the chapter share why they accepted membership. Maybe bring an alumni member from your chapter that has gone off and done well, earned a transfer scholarship or whatever it is, and is doing really well and believes that their engagement in Phi Theta Kappa would help them. host a workshop or a webinar on a special topic, especially like when it's a new semester. There's just tons of stuff that you can do. Time management, get in touch with your campus's department, whoever could handle, do a mindful webinars and being healthy and all that. And so I think that's a really good way that you can engage your students. It can also be just something simple as you're going to meet and just introduce everybody to the chapter and just have lunch or coffee or tea at the end of the day, and make it fun. So you're going to do one. You only need to do one activity out of Engage. And then we're going to move over to follow up, and we talked about that a few minutes ago. It's the almost the end of the semester, and you still have students that haven't joined. We need you to do one more follow up message to those students, and some of those would be, maybe sending out an email if the induction ceremony is getting ready to. If you're doing an induction ceremony this fall, let them know that that's happening, that they can invite their family, that all are welcome. Post that information on your chapter and your college's learning management system, right? Like, hey, let's go. December 31st is coming along. We want to make sure that you accept membership. Maybe do some sort of special communication to dual enrolled eligible students. Most of those dual enrolled students aren't attending classes on the campus. They could be online, but most of them are probably in their high schools. How do you get the message to them? Maybe there's some sort of a way that you can do that. And then that last chance to join, email, postcard, or letter. So you can just choose one thing under the follow-up category. So remember, one thing under invite, one thing under engage, and one thing under follow-up. Wrong button. Tammy's going to tell you how you're going to show you how you're going to share with us what you did.
Yes, I am. So soon you will receive information, and we'll get this link out there many times, I'm sure, between now and the end of December, is we will have just a quick 8-question survey. So 5 of them are questions, or 3 of them are opportunities to upload documentation to help us know what you completed. So obviously basic questions at the beginning, and then for invite, you can provide a copy of the email or letter that you sent. You will just upload that into the survey. For Engage, you could use like a flyer that you used to invite students, eligible students, to your activity, the program from the event. Maybe you do a photo collage and submit that, or even the attendance sheet. So just some type of documentation of that event that you had for eligible students. And then finally, follow up. Again, it's just a copy of that communication piece that you used to follow up with the students, whether it was, something that you posted in the LMS system, or if it was a postcard you sent out, having students, alerting them to their last chance to join. So several different opportunities there that you can upload documentation. So we hope to have this open soon, so everybody can start submitting as they're finished. So
Awesome.
very good.
Thanks, Tammy. So do we have any questions, Jamie? You got that all under control, I can tell. We're good? That's awesome. So I know one of the things that we wanted to try to do in this session, but we don't want to keep you too long, and we have some more things to go through. We created a Padlet. I'm going to share that with you in a second. You can either take a picture of the QR code, or at the end of the meeting, I will put the direct link to the Padlet in the chat. But what we want to hear from you is you brainstorm some ideas, share some of the ideas that you have done or could do under invite, engage, and follow up. And I started it for you. So join us in that activity. And as soon as we're done this, I'll put the direct link so that you can participate in that. But we want to hear some of the ideas that you have going forward. Be creative. That's what we want to hear, creative stuff. Okay.
So a little bit more of just some things coming up. So we do have PTK Awareness Week, which is September 23rd through 27th. Our theme is All In with PTK. So an email went out to advisors and officers earlier this week with information on kind of the social media campaign. So different things that your chapter or members can do to post on social media each day. Our international officers will kick off each day. They each have taken a day. So you'll see a video from them. Make sure you use the hashtag #JoinPTK24 so we can kind of keep track of all of our posts out there, as this is one of the goals of the International Officer Team this year. In addition, there are 3 webinars that week. So there was information in the email, and we'll get some more information out to all members here before September 23rd. Tuesdays will focus on PTK scholarships. Wednesdays will focus on running for international office because the application will open that day. And then Thursday, we have a great webinar that will be focused on leveraging PTK and students' leadership on their resumes and their competitive applications. So lots of opportunities just for members to learn more and interact on social media throughout Awareness Week, and hopefully share this information with students who have been invited to join PTK so they can see all the great possibilities. So if we want to flip to the next slide, speaking of competitive applications, the PTK Fall Scholarship application is now open. The deadline is December 3rd, so apply at scholarships.ptk.org. So make sure you're sharing this information with your students. This is also, a great way to let eligible students kind of see some of the scholarship opportunities they can apply for that are out there. So I'm not going to read through all of the different scholarships, but just encouraging your members to join us for the scholarship webinar, join us for the Leveraging PTK, so maybe they can get a heads up on some of these scholarships.
This one's me, right? Yeah, I think this is me, or no?
For me, well, I'll take it. Why not? Since I'm putting a plug in for my webinar next week.
That's right.
Another opportunity that you can share with your members, that your members have access to, and you as advisors have access to, are our webinars. Again, just like our scholarships, this is also something you can share as a member benefit to your potential members, your eligible members, so they can kind of see what's out there that they can get access to once they become a member. Lots of opportunities for members and advisors to join headquarters staff, alumni, and other expert presenters for some professional development. Might be relevant to your work within Phi Theta Kappa, like this one today, or you can explore the expert advice calendar that's out on that front-facing website for all the other topics that you can help with, or that might be able to help with personal and professional growth. All kinds of good stuff out there. When you find one that you want to attend, you simply have to click the register button next to the description, and you will be all set with all of those. So when we think about Patty kind of gave the plug earlier that there's one next week. You can join me again for an AI powered productivity webinar, where we are going to explore some AI tools that you can use to supercharge your academic experience. And we'll focus specifically on using AI tools and how you can use them for your honors and action projects. We'll try to make it a little interactive. So I'm really excited about that one, and hope you and your members will join me next week.
Hey, Jamie, wouldn't that be a great session for them to invite an eligible member to? Like if they sat all in the around a computer and they could hear. Yes, that's definitely
Get everybody
invite
in a room, and perfect opportunity for that engage portion of your Reach rewards.
Just take a screenshot of Jamie while she's talking, and that'll count.
That counts. Yep. Just make sure my face is doing something not weird, then we'll be good. All right, we can go to the next one. We are also, we've kind of heard from a lot of folks that we want to be able to have some on-demand support for specifically our advisors, but certainly for our chapters and our chapter leaders as well. And coming very soon, we are going to have Calendly links. Both your division's senior director and your division's engagement consultant will be offering some very specific and on-demand support that you can schedule on demand through Calendly. You can schedule some kind of standard options that you see here that might include a short meeting to help with your upload for your eligible members. You might want us to pop in via Zoom to a chapter meeting or an eligible student meeting to talk about the benefits of membership, why they should accept membership. You might want some support for your chapter officer training, or if you're an advisor, you might want some advisor training. And those will all be options that you can just click on demand and schedule right through Calendly with your divisional team. And your senior director and your engagement consultant will be sharing their unique links with advisors very soon. And then I think I've got one more slide for some chapter support and assistance. If you need anything else, certainly you are not limited to those options on that previous slide. Everyone will have a, do you have other questions? Time to just hop on to Zoom through those Calendly links as well. So if there's anything else that you need, again, please don't feel like you are limited to asking us about those things that are on that previous slide. If there's anything else you need, we got you there too. Those are just a few ideas that you can kind of think about for what you might need support on, if it's local recruitment help, if it's more chapter management help, if you need assistance with engagement or 5-star, any of that kind of stuff. Again, we will be sending out those Calendly links and you can just schedule some time to meet with us on demand. And we're pretty excited about that option as well.
We are. Hey, well, you can take a screenshot of that. You'll get all of our, each of our, email addresses and you can, hold on to them as well. If not, I'm gonna give it a second and then we'll stop sharing and open it up to any questions you might have, whether it was anything that we talked about today or something that you're working on, that you would like some assistance with. And I'm gonna get that Padlet, link.
Hey, Patty, this is Trish.
Hey, Trish.
How you doing?
I'm good. New England. Woo woo.
Right?
All right. What's
Um,
fun?
This, by the way, was wildly informative and I love the direction. Love, love, love. There's a
Mhm.
whole lot of work that went into that, and I so appreciate what's happening there. I have a question that is completely unrelated to everything that you guys talked about, but it's a question that came up this week.
New England does that.
I'm
It's okay. I'm
sorry.
used to it.
This time I can say it's not because we have some craziness going on.
Okay. Aha.
We have a 4-year school that has associate degree students. This is not SNHU, by the way. And we noticed at Catalyst and at the previous spring conference, they were sending their students who were already through their associate's degrees and working on their bachelor's degrees. And I was looking at our bylaws for PTK, and it says specifically, so long as you're in the same school, you continue your membership. So that means that if these students don't leave the school where they earned their associate's degree effectively, they can stay on while they're pursuing their bachelor's degree. I just want to make sure that I understand that correctly, and that is what PTK intends.
I know we have several instances of that throughout the country. I know we in Pennsylvania, we have some 4-year schools where they start out in a 2-year program and their hope is that they continue on finishing. And yeah, it's just the only thing that might just come up with that is if they want to campaign for international office, that could be something that might we would have to take a look at, or applying for some of the scholarships, right? Because they can't be over so many credits. So that's something that has to be, shared with them. But I'll have to look at the Constitution again, and again, we don't get this all the time. So let me take a look at it. I don't think that it's an issue, but I think Tammy and Jamie, correct me, I know at some point we used to have in our mission statement 2-year college students. We removed the 2-year college quantifier to college student because there are occasions like SNHU, like Arizona Globe or Maryland and Global, and then and all the onlines that it can be that way. It gives them continued access to everything. It just, when it comes to applying for scholarships, they just have to know that, you know, they're already in their bachelor's and they've completed all of their associate degree work. They may not be eligible to apply. That's the only thing.
Right. And then the other thing, this is my humble opinion, so I apologize if it feels like it's out of context.
No.
There is a different level of learning when you're at a junior or senior level of college. And so for those students to be competing in HIA with the students who are really legitimately freshman or sophomore students, it feels disingenuous. It's my humble opinion. I thought maybe PTK had made a mistake. But I really feel like when we write up our bylaws, we quibble over every word. So I can't imagine that it was a mistake, that it was intentional. It's just, it feels uncomfortable, I guess, to see these same students in competitions with students who are not at that level. Yeah, I'm putting it out there. I
Anytime.
know you guys would probably have to discuss that further someplace different, or even just to say, hey, Trish, you know what? It is what it is. You got to
Right.
live with it.
The other thing is, so we get that I've heard it in the reverse, right? We are, I don't know about I know we talked about this yesterday in the sense of we have so many college systems that their majority of enrolled students are dual enrolled.
Yep.
And, you know, it's difficult for the advisors or even, you know, us to be able to work with them. And then how do we get them involved in some of the programming, right? So, that has been a concern in the flip side. Like the majority of our students are dually enrolled. We can't participate in Honors in Action in College project because they can't come on campus. They have no way to get to campus. You know, we have to rethink everything that we're doing. So yeah, we're going to bring those two things to our next meeting, Trish, to our next internal meeting, and
Sure.
I didn't know, hadn't thought of it that way. What, do you want to tell me what college, did you tell me what college it was?
I did not, but how about if I send you an email?
That would be great.
Yep.
And speaking about SNHU, they're coming
Yes.
back on board, just so that you know.
I'm excited. That's where I earned my PTK membership.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're going to be a global campus, a global chapter, online chapter, and we're really excited. They're in the process. So
I'm excited about that too. Now they still show up under our chapters, so I would assume that we'll still be inviting them to our events and that sort of thing.
that's correct. They
I know
are
that
affiliated with the New England region.
Cindy Sylvester did a lot of work to make that happen, so I'm really stoked about it.
Yeah, yeah, she has. They've gone to great lengths. And the other great thing, and I told her for us to let them back in, that we had to be on the next set of commercials during graduation, showing all of our
Oh my-
regalia.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
That's what Patty Van Adder wants. And she said, okay, well, we got you. So that's what we want.
That's
So,
fantastic. I love that idea.
do you cry? I cry over those SNHU commercials. I don't know. I mean, it's
Well, they're
just,
great, aren't they?
they are. They are.
I know the team that started them. I worked at SNHU for 20 years, so.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There you
yeah. So when we talk about dual enrolled, for us, that's not a problem. We already do our meetings in the evenings, and they're always virtual. And we try to make sure that we can get together at a time when it appeals to the greatest number of people, which tends to be in the evenings or on the weekend. So we'll be doing our Scholar Dash and a corn maze on a Sunday.
Nice.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
fun. That's
It is
fun.
fun. It is
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. Thank you. I'll send you that email. Patty.
That'd
I
be great.
appreciate this. By the way, I can't say enough how much I appreciate all that website work. I cannot imagine being the programmer doing that, or the designer for that matter.
Or the 4 senior directors that, you know, have gray
Or
hair
the
and
4
use all this pretty color.
Well, because I'm sure you're playing a role in the design of it all too. I mean, a page for every chapter just is amazing.
That was Dr. Lynn.
That's phenomenal.
That was
That's
Dr.
phenomenal.
Lynn's idea. And that's why that's, I guess, one of the things that we'll say. We reached out to all of the marketing departments at every college that we are connected to. And if for the most part, we got a lot of the logos, or we were able to find out who the marketing person was, because we didn't want to, you advisors were on vacation in the summer. So
Oh,
you
nice
may get,
girl.
advisors may get a follow-up email, because we're still looking for a logo, or we couldn't connect with anybody at your college, so just be aware of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
My position is year round, which is why our club meets year round.
There you go.
Yep.
Amen. Well, there any other questions? Kelly, anybody? Scott, Barbara, anybody? Mindy? No? Katie? No? Alejandra's with us. Hi, Alejandra.
Hey, I do
question.
have a question.
Okay, Katie.
The landing pages.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can see what the students are going to see, or the students do see now?
Yeah, so I think, I'm not sure. I think some of, I don't know. Jamie and Tammy, I don't know. Did you send your links out to your advisors yet? I haven't done it. I think I'm going to do it next week.
Okay.
So you'll get an email from your senior director or engagement consultant that has those links. We'll send them individually to each chapter so that you can see it. It's nothing that, it's just, they will be updated, but updated on our end. So say, like, you'll see on some of them, they'll have the awards that the chapter has won, and that'll change, like after Catalyst, they'll go through and update. There's really no talk of right now of saying, okay, can I put my meeting dates on my landing page? No, this is strictly for that whole membership acceptance piece, right? So it's not like a web page per se, where we would be doing multiple updates or adding anything to it than what's already there. It's specific for the student to know who you are at your chapter, how to contact you or us if they have a question, and what you've been engaged in over the last, I think, 2 or 3 years. They pulled data. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
mhm.
The other question
you.
now tying into that one.
Huh?
I have one other question tying into that.
Sure.
I know y'all are going to update. We don't. So that actually takes a lot of stress off of me. I love that. But we also have a web page that I do update that is linked to our college page. Could that be added as a link on the landing page?
So when I get suggestions like that, we just keep track of it, and we'll talk about it when we revisit this after the first, 30, 60, 90 days, to see if that's something that we can put in. But yeah, we're keeping track of, because some folks have already received emails like this, and we're just now formally talking about it out loud, so that you're aware of it. And but we have received some suggestions, and we're just putting them in the think tank. And when we meet again as a team, we'll see if it's viable. But I like your idea with that for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I saw somebody else's hand. Tina, how can we help you?
Hello. Our campus is thinking about, or actually we're planning to pay the tuition for our new members, or the application fee. We're just not sure how to go about that financially. We don't really have a credit card to where we could set online and enroll each student and pay that. How do you recommend we would go about doing that as a group pay?
So we have, I have a couple of colleges in my division that do that. They don't send out, and we don't send invitations out on behalf. So
Mhm.
Tina, you would have to do the invitation. Like we said, we'll give you that landing page thing. And wait, no, I don't know if we would even do the landing page. It would
Well,
be,
we actually already have our media to go out to students. We just don't know what to do to get them paid once we get them in.
yeah, they would be billed to the chapter, and then and an invoice, and then the invoice the college would pay. What college are you at, Tina?
Ivy Tech Community
Tech.
College. Mhm.
Okay. All right, we will make sure that
So would we do a paper application for the student then, or could we group enroll them, or?
no,
Because
you
we
would
would
still
have to
do a
do,
file. You would still do a file. So what we would do is we would code it in our system that we're not sending out invitations, right? You would
Right.
still upload us a file, and from that file, it would create the actual membership for the student. And then they would be sent their credentials, if I have that right in my head. And then in our database, it'll say, okay, we're gonna now send an invoice to this particular chapter because these members joined and they're covering it.
Okay, well, and I'm a
those
new
in-
advisor, so I'm not even sure about how I upload a file, so I don't know.
Oh,
what to do.
that's okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Well, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, how long you been an advisor? A hot minute? Is that what?
Yeah, about a month.
Oh,
Welcome. Here's all the information that you need that you're not going to be able to digest all at once.
Right.
yes. And you're
So
probably
what I
gonna
think-
hang up from here and go, these people are crazy. They're crazy. I am not
No,
doing
this
this.
is wonderful. It's totally
Okay.
wonderful.
So
Yeah.
Tina, what we can do is we can have your divisional engagement consultant, Ashley, reach out to you, because the way we do all of this in Division 4 is Patty's exactly right. You'll upload your list. We will not send invites out. And then you go in there as the advisor, click all of their names, say submit for payment, and then that will generate an email welcoming them to PTK to the member, and then it will generate an invoice for your chapter to
Oh,
pay.
fantastic.
It's pretty straightforward, but Ashley will want to walk you through it at least the first couple of times. So we'll get Ashley to reach out to you
Oh,
and
Actually,
give
I
you
emailed
progress.
Ashley before this meeting, so she was already working on it. So we're good.
Yay. That's awesome. All righty. Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to be with all of you today. For those of you who will be watching this later, please follow up with your senior director if you have any questions. And we hope to see you for Jamie's presentation on AI Supercharge. I love that. It's going to be a good one. So bring a friend to that for sure. And please let us know if you have any questions, and we'll be getting the recording to this out to everybody within 48 hours, along with all of the other stuff, including the PowerPoint. In the chat, I put the link to the Padlet if you want to start putting in your ideas and engaging, and you can hold on to that and keep going back and forth to look at it. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for all that you do, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you all.
Thanks.